Hello, this is DIY Reptiles, and today I'm going to be bringing in some of my turtles and fish from outside because this is Ohio and it is getting cold, and therefore I am going to be setting up more aquariums. Okay, so you might be thinking, like, why are you setting up more aquariums? You have this completely vacant 125 gallon and this other 125 gallon, 4 turtles already set up. Well, I have these tanks, and these tanks need to be set up for the reason that none of the plants in this aquarium can be in this aquarium any longer. All of them need to be moved over because if they're in here, the turtles will destroy them. So that is why I'm going to be setting up these, as well as I'm going to bring in some of the goldfish and one of the turtles I plan on bringing in today. And I kind of want to explain that. So last weekend I was looking at the weather for the month, for the month. And if you haven't seen my video where I weighed all my animals, I think I talk about this a little bit, that it's getting colder outside and my turtles will need to be coming inside, but I don't want to shock the system. This 125 gallon doesn't have any fish in it except this one catfish right there, and this lovely bug that I introduced that I think I'm going to try to get out right now if I can. So basically I just put in plants, and I got plants from Reptiles, really awesome YouTuber. I'll try to link his channel somewhere, but you might already know of him because he's awesome. And he does really cool ponds and stuff, and he gave me some of these water lettuce plants. So I'm trying to grow them inside. We'll see how it goes. Let's see if I can get out this. There's just a water insect. If I didn't catch it out, the turtles would eat it, but I don't really want it in there. So there I have it, and it's jumping around all crazy. Let's just hopefully it'll stay there. Okay, so now I need to set up these aquariums so then I can add in all the plants from this aquarium into those. And it seems like a lot of plants in here, really not very much. Obviously all the water lettuce will actually have to go between those 4 10 gallons. But I mean, I have lots of Anubias plants, and I have lots of Anubias plants. So all the Anubias plants will be going into this tank. And then I already have the other aquatic plants in this tank. And then any of the hornwort, which is actually in here around there somewhere, will actually be going into the guppy tank. So then I'll be good. There'll actually be a turtle in here, maybe. I don't know. I'll talk about that a little bit of how I'm doing that. And that's pretty much it. Then as far as all these pothos up here, I'm going to put those in dirt because they don't seem to do like amazing in the aquarium water. Like the roots go crazy and they look really cool, but the plants don't do so well. So I'm going to try to figure out how I can do that. The creeping Jenny, I'll probably just have growing out of those tanks, and then all these plants can stay here as long as I make sure the turtles can't really get to them, because the turtles will eat anything they can get close to, so that's kind of disappointing. But to start off, I think I'm just going to set up this aquarium. All I need to do is I'm going to dirt it, so I'm going to put the soil down in, and then I'll put the rocks over that, and I already have all the supplies from the 55 gallon community tank I took down. And then from there I'm just gonna fill it up, put all those Anubias in it, and then just kind of leave it. I might throw on like a hang on back filter, like a small one or something like that, just to get it going. But I really don't have any fish plans for this, but that's kind of not true. I also need to bring in some of the rosy red minnows that I bred out in the pond this summer. So I will be throwing some of those in here and having those grow out. So there'll actually probably be a ton of minnows in here until they get big enough. You might be wondering real quick what the heck all this plant is. This is actually a sweet potato I put into, this will be the betta tank. So I have an apple snail, and then I have a betta that lives in here. So I also need to move that out before I move turtles in here. But the only thing I need to do as far as getting turtles into this tank, which I want to bring in one today. I don't know, it's already pretty late today. Yeah, I probably won't get that done, but I do plan on getting the fish into here because I think that I can do that. But what I need to do is to not shock the system, just bring in a couple fish. So I might go try to catch out 2 fish and just see how that goes. So catching goldfish when the tank's full is like impossible for me. Like I've never been able to do that. So the fact that I just caught 2 is like unprecedented. I don't even know. That's crazy. I have no idea. They were just completely like, I tried with the big circular net and it just didn't work, and I think it's because it was circular, so you have to kind of trap them. But I caught them with this little net, but not the big one. I guess it's because this one's faster or something. So I'm gonna kind of drip stream acclimate them. I'm not gonna wait forever because these are goldfish, and I mean, it's less stress for them to be in here for the least amount of time, and the temperature is really similar. Like this is 78, this is 77. So as far as I know, the temperature is really similar, and it shouldn't be too much of a stress for these guys to kind of be speedily acclimated. But I will get this bucket filled up, and then I will get the net and scoop them out and put them in. So it'll be these 2 and then the catfish, and I might add in a turtle tomorrow, but not tonight because I don't know. I might wait till next weekend. I guess the idea is not to shock the system, so I might add it this weekend, because in 3 weeks I will definitely not be able to have them in there, and you know, in 3 weeks I'll have a week for adding each turtle. So I think that's a pretty good idea, and I have no idea how many goldfish I have, but all of them will be going into this tank. So I'm hoping that it'll be like around 2 each week, or maybe 3 each week. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to catch the ones next week, because I'm not sure that there's any more in that area of the pond. So I guess we'll kind of figure it out, but this is pretty simple. I'm just going to add them in. It's dark now, so I'm probably not going to film that. I'm going to start cleaning up because my room's a mess from setting up that lovely tank there, and it's because it's dirted, so it's just I have to let it settle and it'll be all right. So yeah, I gotta figure out all of this stuff. Okay, so somehow a minnow ended up in that aquarium from the pond. I'm not sure exactly, but it's in there now. I need to have all these tanks set up and in different places by like the end of the day. So we're gonna start off with draining them, but here's what I'm actually going to be doing. I'm gonna drain this one, and I'm gonna fill it up with this water. I'm gonna move everything from here into here, and then this aquarium is going to be somewhere in between here, probably like right where this one is. And then this will be all set up. It'll have an absolute ton of roots, and that'll be for the baby minnow to hide in, and more importantly, all the baby guppies or live bears. I'm pretty sure that some of those are inlets or something. I'm not entirely sure. So then this tank right here is going to move over one. I just need to do a water change on it, probably add more water lettuce, and then add in the betta, which is right over here. And that is the plan for that tank. It's just kind of chilling. Bettas are pretty interesting because they kind of just like chill on leaves and stuff. So it will be going in there. I think that's a pretty nice setup for a betta. This is a 10-gallon. Then I'm going to be moving this tank over one, and it will have the red-eared slider roux in it, which is just a tiny little red-eared slider. I was gonna put it in some other tank, but I don't want tanks around my room this winter. So I've always had like a tank in front of another tank, like really cluttered looking, and I just don't want that. I have a plan, and I think that it'll be fine in a 10-gallon. If for any reason I think like 10 gallons just way too small, I'll change the setup and I'll put something down, because I obviously want to give it the room it needs. But I will go ahead and move Rue in along with all of her stuff and everything, and it'll go in here. So I need to switch them around. Reason being, this piece of plastic sticks up. So if you look at all of these, they're all the same height, except that goes up. So if I put this one right here, yeah, I know that's real nitpicky, like, yeah, I know, and it just won't go down. When they put it on, they must have siliconed it and it stayed up. But anyway, real nitpicky, I know. I'm gonna do it anyway because I have the opportunity today. I'm gonna move that over. This tank I want over here because right now it gets full light from this. It doesn't need full light. There's not going to be any plants in here, just Rue. She doesn't necessarily need full light because she'll have those lights. So I'd rather her have more like half tank light, so then it doesn't get super green and everything, because I mean it's a turtle and I'll be feeding her and everything. So it makes more sense have her over here, and then the middle tanks don't really matter. So once I get everything from here into here, I will, including the fish and the snails and everything, I'm gonna do this tank just like I did this one, and then I will fill it up just like I did this one, and instead of adding hornwort and, you know, all those other things, I'll be putting in all of the Anubias, maybe this bamboo and stuff like that. So that is the plan there. Then I need to bring in Susan, Susan can go in here with the 2 goldfish. They're doing pretty well. They're not swimming around a whole lot, but I mean, they've been there all night. I think they're fine. And I'll be doing a water change on everything and getting everything situated. So by the end of the day, there shouldn't be any plants left in here besides duckweed, and all of the 10 gallons should be nice and set up and done up and everything. So that is the plan. Okay, so here are the tanks that I was talking about. These are 4 10-gallon tanks right here, and there's a 36-inch LED light going across, and then these 2 have sponge filters, these 2 have in-tank filters. And first we have some plants in a dirted pot. So there's some bocca, I believe, or money plant, and then there is Italian Vallisneria, and then I have my betta in here, so you can see it right there. It's a male betta, and then there's a very large apple snail in here as well. And then in this tank, these are my breeding guppies, and as you can see right there, there's a baby. And there's a ton of apple snails as well as Japanese trapdoor snails, and then there's pest snails like in all of these tanks, of course. There's also bamboo, or lucky bamboo, growing out of it, which you can see here. And then these are a ton of the minnows that bred in my pond this summer. So I put just two, a male and a female rosy red minnows, and then they just bred, and like a week later I had like babies everywhere, and then they just kept breeding. So now there's tons out in the pond. I'm still gonna bring in more. And then I have all my Anubias plants in here, so you can see there's one really big one in the back, and I don't think it's getting any light, so I need to move it to like here or something, I'm not sure, but that's all that's in here. And then I'm trying to get a water hyacinth to grow in here, but I doubt it'll do well. And then there's just one water lettuce. I'm trying to keep the duckweed low as to supply proper lighting to the Anubias, even though this tank's really dark because it's really tannin filled. Like half the water is from my pond, and it's like super filled with tannins. And then I have a lot of creeping Jenny growing out of here. So this structure is like a bush that I found in a river, and somebody must have like cut it and like threw it in the river, because all of these are like cut and then smoothed, which is really awesome. Well, not really. I dislike that, but the whole structure is so awesome. It's really hard to see in blackwater tanks, but it's just like everywhere, and it's awesome. And that's actually what's holding up the lighting. I just have pieces of wood arranged, so you can see there's this piece of driftwood right there, and I think that's super cool that it's just sitting on everything. And then the creeping Jenny is just going all over. I have it like splayed out. I just set these up like a couple days ago, so everything's going well there. And then these 2 tanks are dirted, by the way, so there is like normal soil underneath the substrate, and then that's to grow like plants like this. I don't have any plants like that in here, but the Nubius will grow down into the substrate, as well as in this tank things will, you know. And then this is a baby redwood slider that was given to me, and there it is there. So it's just little tiny, and I really love the way that I set it up. I think that this is a really cool way to do it. So there's heat and UVB in this fixture, and then the turtle can get up on this piece of wood as well as those 2 rocks, and since it's so small, it'll literally get on those 2 rocks, which is crazy. I need to add substrate, but like really large substrate, so then, you know, it doesn't eat it. These are the setups. I think they're really very cool. I have the 125 gallon under here. I just had to move some turtles around because they're difficult. basically what happened was I wanted to have my painted turtle and my big female red-eared slider in here, but my big female has decided that she's now not friendly. So she's like massive, and she needs to be housed alone now. And I also have a male that needs to be brought in still. Right here, the male's going to be going in here, so I need to bring it in. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to split this tank. I have egg crate back there, as you can see. I think I'm going to remove the hardscape from this, like kind of do this tank. And this is like, it can't happen soon because I just don't have time right now. But this will have to be changed, like everything in this tank that would have to be changed to do this. But what I need is a basking area there, or like, you know, around this area, a basking area around that area, a divider right in the middle, and then I can have my big, huge female on one side and my large male on the other, because they're they're too difficult. Like, they will attack other turtles, like, no matter what. So that's kind of a waste of 125 gallon in my opinion, so I'm hoping someday I can get a pond so that they would be all right in and not attack everybody in, but I don't really know at this point. So then I could free up this 75 gallon, which I'd probably put Susan, my yellow light slider, in, because she's massive, and right now she's really going after my community fish already, and she seems to like to eat this substrate, which isn't really a problem for any of these other turtles. So everything has something, so I need to kind of figure that out. I believe I will be addressing all of those problems and more in the next video, so subscribe if you want to see how this progresses. I hope this video was enjoyable. I'm honestly like insanely tired right now, and I just put this video, like I just edited this video, and I'm not entirely sure that it makes logical sense. But there's a lot that I had to get done in this short amount of time, and I got it all done. Like, that was like over a weekend, and that's pretty much what happened. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, stay tuned for future content. There's more coming. I've always have more to do. And if you like this video, then like it down below. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, anything, put it down in the comments. I will read it, and then I will respond in some way. And just have a great day.